Good evening, I'm Adrian Arsenault. Andrew is off. Tonight, a powerful explosion rocks Beirut. Dozens killed instantly. Hospitals overwhelmed with the injured. The damage described as catastrophic.
You almost felt death. You were thrown and you were almost like breathless.
The horror on the ground and a hazardous material that seems to have sparked it all. Back to school scramble.
Had discussions with his father. We're quite scared.
The clash over cohorts and just who should be wearing masks. Canada's new plan to treat obesity.
We don't want to say just eat less and exercise more.
And it's no longer about counting calories or even the number on the scale. And after 62 days in orbit, inside a historic splashdown.
It doesn't sound like a machine, it sounds like an animal.
Could their experience be the future of spaceflight? This is The National. Tonight, the people of Beirut are reeling from a massive and deadly explosion in the city's port area. It looked apocalyptic and it unleashed a wave of destruction. The Lebanese government says the death toll is at least 78. That is expected to rise. The number of injured, 4,000 and climbing. The impact was felt 200 kilometers away and registered the same as a 3.3 magnitude earthquake. This in a country already in an economic crisis, made worse by COVID-19 and the stress of political unrest. Now the air itself may be dangerous to breathe because of the chemical compound that was ignited. So a terrifying place to be right now. Renee Filipponi begins our coverage with what happened and what we know about why. It all started like this.
In videos posted online, a huge fire can be seen burning in the port. Then, a large explosion. A massive mushroom-like cloud and a shockwave causing a powerful blast. Balconies were blown off buildings. Glass shattered everywhere. I don't know what happened, said this man who was fishing at the time. I heard there was a fire. I turned to head home and heard something explode. Across the city, witnesses, including this Canadian visiting Beirut, said they have never felt anything like it.
It felt like an out-of-body experience because you almost felt death. You were thrown and you were almost like breathless. It was like a breathless, horrible experience.
Rescue teams continue to search for people trapped in the rubble. Officials are blaming the blast on highly explosive material stored in the port. 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate, seized 6 years ago and stored there since. The Prime Minister says that's unacceptable. I promise you this crisis will not go unpunished, he says, and called the explosion a catastrophe. Lebanon has long known the terror of explosions. Today's events were triggering for some, taking them back to the 2005 car bombing assassination of former Prime Minister Rafiq Hariri. A verdict for that killing is expected Friday. Now today's disaster compounds the misery in Lebanon, where life was already a struggle, with the country facing economic collapse made worse by COVID-19.
People are really reeling and hurting. So when this happened, I couldn't imagine, what else this country could go through that's even worse than the situation now.
Tonight, hospitals are overwhelmed. Some are turning patients away as the search for victims continues into the night. Tomorrow, the grief will be marked with the first of 2 national days of mourning. Renee Filipponi, CBC News, London.
So now let's take a closer look at Beirut from ground level and from someone who lives and works there. CBC News contributor Rebecca Collard felt that blast like everyone else around her.
I'm on the street now, not far from my own home, about 2.5 kilometers from the blast site today. And the army is on the street. We're still hearing ambulance go by. The injured are still being taken away from the site. And as you can see, the power is out in a lot of this neighborhood and also in my own apartment. And I'll just show you behind me. This is a building that does have power, but you can see the whole front entrance has been completely smashed out, and that's what a lot of the buildings, most of the buildings in this neighborhood look like this far from the blast site. Even on the upper floors, a dozen floors, 20 floors up, you see that that the windows have been completely smashed out. I was in my own apartment here when the blast took place. I heard an initial rumble and actually went into an internal hallway in my apartment, and around me the whole apartment was shaking. And when I came out, I just saw that the doors had been blown off of most of the rooms in my apartment, that the windows had been completely smashed out, and that furniture had basically been tossed across the apartment. And that's still the situation there now, and I still have no power. We also don't have a lot of clarity about what exactly happened. At first, obviously, the government had said that this was some sort of a fireworks storage that was caught on fire, and that seemed, of course, unrealistic considering here we are almost 3 kilometers from the blast site, and we're seeing such incredible damage. They're now saying that there was actually chemicals that had been stored in that facility, and those caught fire, and that's why we saw such a massive blast. But, by the ambulances that are still going by, we're likely to see the toll of injured and dead rise steadily throughout the night and into tomorrow. Rebecca Collard, CBC News, Beirut.
With thousands of Canadian citizens and residents living in Lebanon, the two countries have strong ties. We now know at least one, a former Montrealer, is among those who died. Tom Perry has the reaction from there and Ottawa.
You don't feel that's so real.
Stephanie Magnum's first glimpse of today's cataclysmic explosion, a video sent by her cousin who witnessed it.
I thought that I didn't know what I was looking at until the very part where I saw the mushroom cloud of smoke, and I screamed.
Magnum has more than 30 relatives living in Lebanon. She knows some are safe, but is still waiting for word on others.
You can't call the police, you can't call the government, you can't call anyone, and you just feel that you're really alone and that you're helpless.
At least one victim did have a Canadian connection. Family and friends of Montreal-based businessman Nizar Najarian today confirming he was among those killed in the blast.
He decided to go and try to make Lebanon better, and finally he died trying.
There were messages of support today from the Canadian government. Absolutely tragic news coming out of Beirut, wrote Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Twitter. Foreign Affairs Minister François-Philippe Champagne spoke to his Lebanese counterpart and wrote, "We stand with the people of Lebanon and the diaspora during this difficult time. We're ready to assist however we can."
It's a very sad day for Beirut.
That diaspora, more than 200,000 people in Canada with roots in Lebanon, still trying to get a full picture of the devastation.
Very upset, emotionally drained, but you know what? We have to deal with a disaster, and it doesn't help to just watch it. You have to do something to help, and we're willing to do it. We're willing to do it. And Lebanese are very strong people, and they will pull out of it and rebuild.
But Lebanese Canadians know that rebuilding won't come easy after a disaster of such terrifying force. Tom Perry, CBC News, Ottawa.
Turning now to the global education crisis unleashed by the COVID-19 pandemic. At least 1 billion students now sit in limbo. Today, the UN warned that getting them back to class was key to avoiding a generational catastrophe.
Despite the delivery of lessons by radio, television, and online, and the best efforts of teachers and parents, many students remain out of reach. Once local transmission of COVID-19 is under control, getting students back into schools and learning institutions as safely as possible must be a top priority.
With schools closed in more than 160 countries, the Secretary General calls COVID-19 the greatest disruptor of education ever seen. He also warned that minority or disadvantaged communities and children in remote areas are most at risk of being left behind. Canadian parents and teachers are preparing for school to resume next month, and not without some anxiety. Today, Ontario's largest school board released its plan for high schools. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson takes a look.
We'll probably get some more peppers. Oh, there's one.
After 5 months at home, Nelson Carter is weeks away from getting at least some of his high school experience back.
It's hard too because, especially with teenagers, they want to see their friends. It's been a very long time.
His mother, Joy Henderson, is not quite as thrilled. Full-time online classes are an option, one she still might take.
I've had discussions with his father and such, and we're quite scared.
Nelson is a student at Toronto District School Board, one of many finalizing their plans to get students back to class. The province delivered its guidelines for school reopening last week, with high schools changing the most.
Groups of 15 students will alternate between attending class in person and online.
It's a scenario that reduces exposure while still offering some in-class instruction, but also a logistical challenge for school boards trying to figure out how to rotate students in a way that's safest and best for learning. So much so that the Toronto District School Board already made, then changed its proposed schedule, from students attending for half a day each day to different groups of 15 attending on full alternate days.
We were concerned not only with students traveling back and forth every day, but we were also concerned with how cleaning would be accomplished in the short turnaround time between the morning cohort and the afternoon.
Still, this new model comes with its own challenges.
The changes that we see today are changes that increase a reliance on or a focus on synchronous online learning.
And that's just one school board's plan, a plan that will likely still change before September.
We're waiting till the end of August to really kind of be concrete and what our decision's going to be.
A waiting game as parents, politicians, and educators try to weed their way through the pandemic's tangled path. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
Albertans also have concerns about the return to school in September. Today, the province announced its strategy includes making masks mandatory, but not in the one place many feel they'd be most useful, in the classroom. Rafi Boudjikanian now with how that's going over.
When 8-year-old Will Cantor returns to school in a few weeks, he won't be required to wear a mask. But his older brother Ty must, at least part of the time.
Ty, how do you feel about going back to school?
A little bit unsafe because of our grandparents, and it's a higher risk of getting them sick if you hang around them.
Their mom is also worried about Will's asthma, which could make him more susceptible to COVID-19 than others.
Where I would like to see everyone having a mask, and maybe if they feel that the younger kids won't wear them, then shields or screens in between them.
Until this morning, the Alberta government was not going to mandate masks at all, just physical distancing and more cleaning. Today, that changed.
We have committed to refining our guidelines to ensure they reflect current medical evidence.
That revision includes supplying all public school students and staff with 2 washable masks and hundreds of thousands of liters of hand sanitizer. The masks will only be mandatory in common areas and if you can't keep a 2-meter distance for those who are 10 or older. But there is still no cap on class sizes.
We've talked about different options for arranging desks so that students are not facing each other.
Not good enough for one school board in Edmonton, which warns some of its classes have up to 40 students.
We need to go just a little bit further. Because we're not able to physically distance, we will be requiring students to wear masks when they are in classrooms.
Terry Merlot-Cantor's kids are part of a different division, but she'll be doing the same.
If you're going to make one kid do it, make them all do it.
Merlot-Cantor says she hopes the coming year can be as normal as possible. Rafi Boudjikanian, CBC News, Edmonton.
Saskatchewan will also send students back to school full-time without major changes in the classroom, at least for now.
The key to this is to ensure that students return to school in as normal a situation as possible. We want to ensure that students are subject to resocialization with their friends, mental health challenges as a result of not being in school.
So no mandatory masks or smaller class sizes, though the province says it's buying extra masks just in case and is open to introducing cohorts or some remote learning. But officials say that would all be a last resort. In BC, there's growing concern about flights arriving with infected passengers, and the province's medical officer of health says airlines are not doing enough. Dr. Bonnie Henry wants them to cooperate with contact tracing. But as Susana da Silva tells us, the airlines insist they are helping.
4 months into the pandemic, and BC's provincial health officer is still surprised by how little contact information airlines provide when someone tests positive on board.
It would shock you to see what we get from the airlines when we request a flight manifest.
Bonnie Henry says once the travel restrictions and mandatory quarantines came into place, they stopped trying to contact everyone who may have been exposed on a flight. But that is changing as more people begin to travel.
The information is being collected for a different purpose. And when we need that information to find out who's around, all they know is it's somebody who paid $66 for that seat.
In the last 2 weeks, there have been positive cases on 7 flights in BC, 34 across the country. And Dr. Henry says it often takes days to get the details they need. But WestJet and Air Canada refute that. Air Canada saying they are baffled by her concerns that all information and manifests are provided to any Canadian health authority upon request within 24 hours as part of a well-prescribed process for all infectious disease management. That they and other major airlines have reached out to Dr. Bonnie Henry's office on multiple occasions to discuss any concerns she may have, and they have so far refused to get back to us.
And the people who do the contact tracing are saying the information is inadequate. So people can judge whether whose position is more important. I think it's the people that do the contact tracing.
Canada's top doctor stresses there hasn't been a case of transmission on a flight, but that contact tracing is a priority.
I do think there's an opportunity going forward to maybe look at that in a new concerted way.
Transport Canada says flight manifests limit information for privacy reasons. The agency says it's working with the provinces to strengthen contact tracing. Susana da Silva, CBC News, Vancouver.
Toronto-based Porter Airlines has delayed its return to flight until October. The carrier was slated to take off at the end of this month. It blames travel restrictions and the extended closure of the Canada-US border. Porter is waiving change and cancellation fees. The airline suspended operations in March because, of course, of the pandemic. A Norwegian cruise ship has suspended its operations again over COVID. Today, the outbreak on board the MS Roald Amundsen reached 43 cases. As Kayla Hounsell tells us, the impact of that could devastate an already hurting industry and the local businesses that rely on it.
Kurt Bulger is preparing orders for delivery. His gift shop in downtown Halifax is open now, but still struggling.
I still have 9 employees that I can't bring back because I don't have enough sales. We're doing about 1/6 of the sales that we should be doing this time of the year.
It's because so much of his summer business usually comes from cruise ships. Each year, Halifax alone welcomes around 350,000 passengers. The worry now is that news of more outbreaks at sea won't help bring them back.
It's simply another, you could say, a crown on a particular bad year.
This global studies professor says the Norwegian ship, the MS Roald Amundsen, was testing the waters. It didn't work. There are now 43 cases of COVID-19 on board, mostly crew members, but hundreds more are in quarantine awaiting test results. The ship also serves as a local ferry, so there's a concern some passengers may have disembarked unaware and spread the virus to communities along the route. The cruise line has apologized and admitted it made mistakes. The ship is now tied up, and Norway has closed its ports to ships carrying more than 100 people for 2 weeks. Canada's ports are closed until the end of October, effectively canceling the season. But there are questions about 2021.
What matters is if the people feel confident enough to take a cruise, if they have also enough discretionary income to afford traveling, and that's the biggest issue.
Still, he believes it's possible for the industry to rebound next year. Kurt Bulger isn't convinced.
Unfortunately, I fear that that part of the industry may be broken for a long time, if not forever.
Bad news for business owners who, like the cruise industry, are just trying to stay afloat. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Halifax.
Canada's public health officer is optimistic about testing for the current batch of vaccines, but Dr. Theresa Tam insists that alone will not end this pandemic.
We can't at this stage just put all of our focus in the hopes that this is the silver bullet solution.
Tam says people still need to practice protective measures like mask wearing, physical distancing, and hand washing. Over the past 7 days, Canada has seen an average of 400 new cases per day. That is down from nearly 500 at this point last week. Ontario is part of that downward trend, but the southwestern region of Windsor-Essex is still a trouble spot. So for now, it's stuck in stage 2 of the reopening. More than 1,000 migrant farm workers there have fallen ill. And as Ella Morrow tells us, some say their rights are being violated.
Luis Gabriel Flores contracted COVID-19 at an Ontario farm and says his employer fired him for speaking out about conditions there. We worked 16 hours a day, he says. The housing conditions weren't good. Some workers now say their employers are confining them to the farms where they work, asking them to sign agreements that prevent the workers from leaving even to get groceries or go to a bank to send money back home.
Dijeron que no íbamos a salir para ningún lado, pero llegaba una tiendita y nos daba las cosas al doble de lo que costaban.
Migrant workers nationwide live in often cramped dormitories where physical distancing can be impossible. The federal government has pledged more than $58 million to improve conditions, but farmers remain under pressure, says the Canadian Federation of Agriculture.
We're doing the best we can. And when you consider how huge and diverse agriculture is in Canada, you might have a greenhouse, you might have a dairy farm, you might have a mushroom farm, you could have a potato farm. And you think of each of those production systems has different requirements for labor and different situations in the day-to-day work.
Frankly, what's really needed, say workers' advocates, is permanent residency status.
This shows yet again that in a temporary immigration system, employers can choose to use, abuse, and exploit people.
Farmer Jen Fenning employs workers from Jamaica. Despite the pandemic, she says farmers should not be restricting their workers' movements.
They're, creating a separate set of rules for a specific group of workers isn't fair.
Flores says he's proud he went public. He was friends with one of the workers who died from the virus. I am happy to speak for him, he says. Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Toronto.
A Toronto MP has announced he will resign his seat as a Liberal backbencher on September the 1st. Michael Levitt has represented the riding of York Centre since 2015. In a note posted to social media, he thanked his family and staff and announced he'll be taking a job in the private sector. His resignation will trigger a by-election, the first to take place since the pandemic began. CBC News has learned hundreds of Canadians relying on CERB have had their identities stolen.
I was like, uh-oh, I just had a feeling that this wasn't good.
Next on The National, their benefits were denied and there's no easy fix. Going beyond counting calories, the call for a new approach to treating obesity.
We're just not being treated with the same dignity and respect that other people have been for other chronic conditions.
And the Canadian photographer fighting to make the world care about life below the surface.
Does it make you angry? Of course.
We're back in 2. Welcome back. CBC News has learned hundreds of people across the country are being denied their CERB benefits, and that's because identity thieves are making all sorts of claims under their names. Lauren Pelly shows us how they are short on income and patience.
I was like, uh-oh, I just had a feeling that this wasn't good.
2 months ago, the government rejected Tamara Cater's application for a 4th round of CERB support.
I was just shocked.
Shocked because she had already received 3 rounds of CERB payments since April. Government records showed she had also filed a claim for employment insurance for losing a job she had never held. Cater has since missed $4,000 in payments.
Eventually, they figured out that someone had applied for some type of EI benefit under my name.
She's now among hundreds of unemployed Canadians who've had their identities stolen and used to apply for government benefits over the course of the pandemic. So far, the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre says it has received more than 700 reports of identity fraud linked to CERB. 384 of those reports came from Quebec, Another 172 were from Ontario, and British Columbia had the third most reports with 52.
It said that I had applied for period 1 on June 30th, which I had not.
This New Brunswick mother of 5 later learned someone else hacked her account and collected a check on her behalf.
I was a little scared. I immediately checked my online banking and to make sure that everything else was secure, that there was no breaches in any other of my finances.
The Canada Revenue Agency told CBC News it is prioritizing fraud and identity theft calls. They also noted anyone eligible for CERB benefits will receive their missed payments.
No one can tell me when it will be resolved. I've been able to borrow money from people to pay my rent, but that's also an uncomfortable feeling when everybody's under stress.
For now, Cater says she's stuck in limbo with no answers and no cash coming in. Lauren Pelly, CBC News, Toronto.
In the United States, at least 4 people were killed as tropical storm Isaias hammered swaths of the East Coast. That storm slammed into the Carolinas as a Category 1 hurricane overnight, causing floods, fires, and a tornado that leveled this mobile home park. It has been downgraded to a tropical storm, but heavy rains, powerful winds, and outages continue in the Northeast. Remnants of the storm are expected to hit parts of eastern Canada tonight and into tomorrow. And that giant SOS sign right there saved the lives of 3 sailors stranded on a tiny Pacific island. The men had been missing for 3 days after they ran out of fuel. They were found in Micronesia by Australian and U.S. military aircraft. Officials say all 3 were in pretty good condition with no major injuries. And speculation is rampant in Spain about the whereabouts of their former king. Juan Carlos shocked the country yesterday by announcing he was leaving, but gave no detail about his destination. The 82-year-old is the subject of a growing financial scandal that has sparked protests in recent weeks. Some reports suggest he's gone to the Dominican Republic, but that hasn't been confirmed. Next on The National, a Canadian photographer on a mission in the Bahamas. His stunning work captures life and death below the surface. He is driven to make a difference and make the world take note. And later, life after splashdown. We'll hear from 2 U.S. astronauts who returned to Earth this week after a historic and a pretty humbling mission. Welcome back. Before the world was swept up by COVID-19, a man from Regina made international headlines for his award-winning underwater photography. Shane Gross's work focuses on ocean life and the human impact on creatures most of us will never get to see up close. Andrew spoke with him in the Bahamas before the pandemic hit.
This is a place human eyes don't often see, but humanity's impact here, undeniable. It is often hidden, out of sight, but not to everyone. Shane Gross spends much of his time in a place where it's easy to feel unwelcome, but he thinks of it as home and one he shares.
I try to tell long-form stories about the ocean. Sometimes it's a single frame, sometimes it's 10 or 15 pictures that try to tell a narrative story. We shouldn't have to defend why a certain species or animal deserves the right to exist on the planet. And by telling their story, by getting them out there, maybe some more people will care.
Humility. It is Shane's guide, but he's driven by an urge to protect. So consider what happens when someone so accustomed to photographing life comes to photograph death.
You know, I've spent a lot of time in the water with live turtles, and so it was depressing. There's a green turtle tangled in fishing line. To see the life in the eyes of a turtle, and then to see one where it's gone. I mean, its eyes had actually been eaten out by scavengers. That dead look, it was haunting, you know, to know that that animal was killed for no real reason. It was a complete waste. It would have suffered in its final moments. Turtles need to come up to the surface to breathe air, and so it would have been entangled in the line and tried to make it up to the surface to breathe, and it couldn't, and the turtle drowned, which must have been a horrible way to go as well. So it was emotional.
Does it make you angry?
Of course. I'm angry all the time. I'm angry when I look at a shoreline and I see plastic bottles and plastic bags, and anger in its raw form doesn't accomplish much. I try to use it as a motivation to try to inspire change.
It's a photo that still haunts Shane, a powerful image of humanity's impact on our oceans, and one that's caught the world's attention. It won an International Photography Award. But Shane knows convincing people to take conservation seriously isn't going to happen by accident. It takes meticulous planning. When Shane prepares for a shoot, he's like a watchmaker. Every piece carefully cleaned, checked, and rechecked, no detail too small. Today, Shane's packing for a shoot at a secret location on a nearby island, and he's taking me with him.
All right, so Shane, we're on Eleuthera Island in the Bahamas, but where specifically are we?
Well, we're in South Eleuthera. That's about as specific as I'd like to get.
Why is that?
Well, if a spot gets too well known, it can scare the wildlife. It could even bring poachers in to try to take the animals out. So we want to be very careful about giving away specific locations where wildlife is abundant.
So how many people know about the spot that we're about to head to?
Maybe a few researchers, a few local fishermen. That's about it.
And it's just that way?
Yeah, straight up the beach here. We got a little bit of a trek. As you can see, it's a little bit choppy, so it'll be a fun splashy trek.
For this trip, Shane packs light. The shot he wants, clear as day in his head. It's a secluded spot where baby lemon sharks gather, away from predators and, importantly, from people.
The first time I came here, photographically, was a disaster. The sharks, I thought they would just come right into the camera and be aggressive like people think sharks are, and they would not come in anywhere close enough to the camera.
Today, we hope to have better luck.
There's one right there.
Oh yeah.
Swimming away pretty quick. When the sharks first see us, they're pretty shy. So that's why we're seeing them come in within maybe a couple meters, and then they're going off to think or do whatever they do, and then hopefully they come back.
How long could you spend out here waiting for the perfect shot?
Oh, I have spent days. Two of my favorite pictures that I've ever taken were right here. One is, it was sunset, and I tilted my camera facing straight up to the surface. A big storm came over, and the setting sun lit up the clouds beautifully right behind a lemon shark that swam directly over top of my camera. At the time, I didn't have a remote trigger, so I used my toe to actually snap the picture.
No kidding.
But I got it, and yeah, I just love it. The moments you live for, you know.
What are some of the other places like this around the area?
Well, we're pretty lucky that we have some really beautiful places. And one place that I've spent a lot of time because it's just stunning, it's called the Sapphire Blue Hole. And it's some of the clearest water you can imagine, and some really unique wildlife lives in there. But now that's changed.
So this is Sapphire Blue Hole.
This is Sapphire Blue Hole.
There is a whole ecosystem of life in there.
Yeah, so there's a couple of key species that live in here that can't live in other ecosystems where there would be large predators. So this is a closed ecosystem, which makes it quite unique and really important for those two species, the red cave shrimp and the Bahamas cave fish, which is also known as the lucifuga.
And how delicate is it to keep that balance? I mean, where are they getting their food from?
Well, I think a lot of what they depend on is organic matter that falls into the blue hole from the surrounding trees. There's insects and the leaves themselves. I've seen the shrimp literally eating the leaves, and praying mantises and other insects that fall in.
And so this place today looks different than from the last time you were here.
Yeah, so just very recently, within the last couple of weeks, somebody had come and cut the trees around the perimeter down and put up this fence and...
This fence wasn't here before?
No. Little as 2 weeks ago, this fence wasn't here.
And when you talk about trees being, like that's what I'm seeing there, the stumps?
Yeah, I'm stepping on one right now. There's tree stumps going 360 degrees around the blue hole. I don't know how much thought, if any, was given into what impact that's going to have on the animals. And the increase in tourist traffic could bring in unwanted chemicals like sunscreens, insect repellents, those kinds of things, which may also have a negative effect on it.
The reason Shane brought me here wasn't just to show me how the area has changed, but also to show me a photograph he took not all that long ago that he can never take again.
And the picture I was looking for was one that showed that relationship between the fish and its environment. So the fish in the foreground and in the background was showing the opening of the blue hole with those trees overhanging the blue hole. But it's extremely fragile. You can see how small it is. Any small change could be catastrophic for the animals that live in there. There are a lot of still untouched places in the Bahamas compared to some other places in the world. But there are definitely places that have been, in my opinion, destroyed. The reason why people go to these places in the first place is for their natural beauty. And to me, when you start to mess with that, it kind of defeats its own purpose.
Shane's biggest fear? That we are recklessly, irrevocably erasing fish like the Lucifuga from existence. It's only survived all these years because its caves are undisturbed. It's incredibly rare.
You know, when I do hear about people making plans to turn a beautiful natural area into a marina, I get angry. And, you know, we shouldn't have to, defend a species' right to survive on our planet. They should have that right inherently. I never understood that.
It's lonely work, but with each photograph he takes, Shane is driven to make a difference.
I just hope that it connects with people on an emotional level. We are constantly inundated with statistics and facts, and it doesn't seem to lead to any kind of change. But an emotional connection can lead to change.
Shane's recent prize, proof that people care. But the mission, that never ends.
Next on The National, rethinking obesity in Canada.
I've experienced situations where doctors and health professionals kind of brush off my concerns and attribute it to my weight.
Shifting away from counting calories and that number on the scale, the new call for doctors to change how they treat patients. Welcome back. A majority of adult Canadians are either overweight or obese, a condition that can lead to serious health challenges. So now doctors are making a major shift in how they treat obese patients. And as Thomas Degler reports, it's about a lot more than just the number on that scale.
Everyone knows healthy habits like riding a bike can help fight obesity, but there's much more to it than that. Lisa Schaefer knows it's complicated. Her doctors didn't always agree.
They further just stigmatized the issue and really made me feel like it was up to me and it was still about willpower and moving more and eating less, which we now know is not the truth.
New guidelines published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal urge doctors to move beyond simplistic approaches of eat less, move more, and address the root drivers of obesity. The guidelines were written by more than 60 experts. Dr. Sean Wharton is one of the lead authors.
We need to know the biology and the physiology that will help us to dictate how we can get the weight down and to keep it going. And we now know a lot more of that.
And that's not the only big change. Obesity shouldn't be diagnosed with simple numbers like someone's waist size or their body mass index. It's caused by factors beyond food, from genetics to surroundings. And the stigma that comes with obesity needs to be tackled too.
I've experienced situations where doctors and health professionals kind of brush off my concerns and attribute it to my weight rather than actually addressing the concerns.
Roughly 2 million Canadian adults are considered severely obese, a condition that's said to worsen symptoms of COVID-19. A healthy diet is still recommended, but so are mental health techniques and sometimes prescription drugs or bariatric surgery.
It doesn't help when we use tactics like judging, humiliation, or embarrassment.
There may be a more complex array of treatment options, but basics like regular exercise still go a long way. Thomas Daigle, CBC News, Toronto.
Next on the National, reflections on a historic space mission. The world watched their splashdown. Now hear what it was like to fall back to Earth and the astronauts inside the capsule. The first American astronauts to ride to the International Space Station and back aboard a commercial spacecraft talk today about their journey and where space travel goes from here. Paul Hunter has more on their space odyssey.
There was a time not too long ago that we all thought maybe by, say, 2001, space travel on a privately owned spacecraft, maybe Pan Am, would be almost run-of-the-mill. Well, didn't quite work out that way. But
we are visual on 4 shoots out.
When the SpaceX Dragon capsule with 2 U.S. astronauts on board came back to Earth on Sunday,
splashdown.
It made history. As it bobbed in the waters off the coast of Florida, it marked the end of the first U.S. mission sending people into orbit on a private spacecraft. In so doing, billionaire Elon Musk, who owns SpaceX, has underlined, the age of private space travel may finally be upon us.
I think for both of us it still feels pretty surreal, and I know that's a little bit overused, but I don't know how else to describe it.
Today, the 2 astronauts on board, both NASA veterans, said the whole thing went off without a hitch.
Green hook is closed and locked.
62 days in orbit, getting some work done on the space station and then getting themselves back home.
Separation confirmed.
And what a ride that was, they said. Clouds rushing by ever faster, and the sound, they said,
it came alive. The atmosphere starts to make noise. It doesn't sound like a machine. It sounds like an animal coming through the atmosphere with all that, all the puffs that are happening from the thrusters.
But for astronauts, in a sense, run-of-the-mill. SpaceX now eyes regular missions to orbit and then maybe that dream of sending non-astronauts up there. If so, said the only 2 to have done it on a SpaceX so far.
It's an outstanding vehicle, and they should be excited to fly on board to get that experience if they're lucky enough to do it.
Says SpaceX, maybe next year. Paul Hunter, CBC News, Washington.
Next on the National, a final farewell after 65 years in the biz. This Moncton barber hangs up his clippers for the last time. Our moment is next. Donato Di Donato has been a barber for the last 65 years, a fixture in Moncton. He's now 80 years old and has decided, it's time to retire. He started his career at 15 in Italy before ending up in New Brunswick. His last day after a long, storied career is our moment.
Well, today I have a lot of my old friends coming to say me good wish, you know what I mean, for my retirement. I started in 1955 in Italy. I used to go to school in the morning, and I take a barber course in the afternoon. I stay in Moncton for 55 years. I come into Moncton in August the 14th, 1965. A good customer. Thank you very much for everything. Merci beaucoup. A nice, clean business. We will enjoy every day to come to work. And I like the people, and the people like me. I'm very proud of my family, and I'm proud to be grandpa. Oh, yes. Thank you very much for the people in Moncton to support me for so many years.
And thank you, Donato. So who were those clients the last days? There was a man who was 99 years old, Donato's grandsons and son, and he said the key to being successful for all those years is realizing that in barbering, what's old is eventually new again. That is a national for August 4th. Good night and congrats.